Imagine working every single day, flying miles under the sun, just to create a teaspoon of golden liquid. That's the life of a honeybee. Bees are nature's most dedicated workers. To produce just 1 kilogram of honey, a colony must visit over 2 million flowers. One bee alone, it would take her entire life to make only 1/12 of a teaspoon. The journey begins when the bee finds nectar. She stores it in a special organ called the honey stomach, separate from her digestive system. Inside, enzymes begin transforming the nectar as she flies. Back at the hive, she passes the nectar to another bee, and then another, in a chain of collaboration that adds more enzymes and reduces moisture. Finally, the nectar is placed into hexagonal wax cells, structures engineered for strength and storage. But that's not the end. Thousands of bees fan their wings in sync, evaporating the remaining water until the nectar thickens into honey. Once it's ready, they seal the cells with wax, like natural jars. This is how honey begins, not in factories, but with thousands of wings working in perfect harmony. The hive is full, the combs are heavy with honey, and the moment has come, the harvest. But before any extraction begins, there's one golden rule that responsible beekeepers always follow. Leave enough honey for the bees to feed themselves and survive. The process starts with an old ally in beekeeping, the smoker. By releasing soft smoke into the hive, the bees are calmed, their aggression is reduced, and the beekeeper can work without causing them stress. Next, with careful precision, the frames filled with honey are removed, but each cell is sealed with a thin wax cap. To open them, a special knife or uncapping comb is used, slicing the surface without damaging the honeycomb structure. Then comes the magic. The frames are placed into a centrifugal extractor. This machine spins rapidly, and through centrifugal force, the honey is flung out without breaking the wax architecture. The extracted honey is filtered to remove wax residues and stored in stainless steel tanks. It's a clean, respectful, and precise process. But here comes the next big question. How does that golden liquid go from industrial tanks to the jar sitting in your kitchen? Once filtered and stored, honey begins the final part of its journey, reaching your table. But this step is just as meticulous as everything before it. The honey is left to rest in tanks so that bubbles and the last impurities rise to the surface. Then it goes through a final filtration process to ensure a smooth and clean texture. Depending on the types of flowers the bees visited, honey can vary in color, taste, and thickness. Some are light and mild, others dark with bold, rich flavor. This diversity is part of its natural charm. In processing plants, everything becomes automated. Jars are sterilized, aligned on conveyor belts, and filled with precise amounts. Nozzles control the flow, and each lid is sealed tightly to preserve freshness. Labels are applied, jars are packed, and the honey is ready to travel to supermarkets, organic stores, or directly to customers. But many artisanal beekeepers still do everything by hand, preserving that rustic, natural essence. That jar in your home was born from a dance of flowers, wings, and warm patience. But what exactly makes honey so good for your health? Let's find out in the next section. Honey isn't just delicious, it's also one of the most complete natural substances for your health. Since ancient times, it's been used as a natural remedy thanks to its antibacterial properties. Its low moisture and acidic pH create a hostile environment for bacteria and microbes, making it a natural disinfectant for minor wounds and burns. But honey is also packed with antioxidants. Especially the darker varieties contain phenolic compounds and flavonoids that help fight cellular aging and strengthen the immune system. Sore throat? A spoonful of honey with lemon can soothe irritation better than many syrups. It's also helpful for digestion and can relieve acid reflux. And let's not forget energy. Honey provides natural glucose and fructose that are quickly absorbed, perfect for athletes or anyone needing a quick energy boost. Taken before bed, it may even improve sleep quality by supporting melatonin production. So, beyond sweetening, honey can heal, protect, and energize your body. But that's not all. Did you know it never actually goes bad? It might sound like a myth, but it's absolutely true. Honey doesn't expire. In fact, archaeologists have found jars of honey in Egyptian tombs over 3,000 years old, and they were still edible. How is that possible? The answer lies in its natural chemistry. First, honey's high sugar concentration prevents bacteria and mold from growing. It also contains very little water, which makes it nearly impossible for microorganisms to survive. On top of that, honey produces hydrogen peroxide, a compound with antimicrobial properties that acts as a natural preservative. Its pH is also key, between 3.2 and 4.5, acidic enough to resist spoilage. But maybe you've noticed your honey crystallizing. That doesn't mean it's gone bad. Crystallization is a natural process where glucose separates from water. Just warm it gently in a water bath, and it will return to liquid form. So next time you find a dusty jar of honey in your pantry, don't throw it away. Unlike most foods, honey can literally last forever. But now another question comes up. How can you tell if that honey is actually pure? Let's find out. Not all honey you find in the supermarket is what it claims to be. Many brands mix in corn syrup, glucose, or other additives to cut costs. The result? Honey that isn't really honey. So, how can you tell if you're buying the real thing? Here are 3 simple tests you can try at home. The water glass test. Drop a spoonful of honey into a glass of water. If it dissolves quickly, it's likely fake. Pure honey will sink to the bottom and stay intact. The match test. Dip the head of a matchstick in honey and try to light it. If it lights easily, the honey doesn't contain added water. If it doesn't, it's been diluted. The label test. Check the ingredients. If you see corn syrup or glucose, it's been tampered with. Always look for labels that say raw honey or 100% honey. Alarming fact, it's estimated that over 75% of commercial honey worldwide is adulterated. That's why, whenever possible, buy directly from local beekeepers. You'll get a fresher, purer, and much more authentic product. Now, let's explore what happens when you consume honey every single day. The results may surprise you. Adding honey to your daily routine can naturally and deliciously transform your health. Here are 5 science-backed benefits. 1. Boosts your immune system. Honey is rich in antioxidants and antibacterial compounds that help your body fight off viruses and bacteria. 2. Improves sleep quality. A teaspoon before bed can increase melatonin production, helping you fall asleep faster and enjoy deeper rest. 3. Feeds your brain. Thanks to its natural glucose, honey provides quick energy to the brain, enhancing focus and memory. 4. Protects your heart. Studies show that regular honey consumption can lower bad cholesterol, LDL, and improve blood circulation. 5. Supports digestion. Honey can soothe issues like acid reflux and promote healthy digestion as a natural prebiotic. Just 1 tablespoon a day is enough to enjoy these benefits. But remember, as with any food, moderation is key. So, what happens if you go overboard? That's exactly what we'll explore next. Honey is natural, yes, but it's still a form of sugar. And like anything, too much of it can have negative side effects. Here are 4 downsides of over-consuming honey. 1. Weight gain. 1 tablespoon of honey has about 64 calories. If you eat several a day without adjusting your diet, it can lead to weight gain. 2. Dental issues. Honey is sticky and sweet. If you don't brush your teeth properly afterward, it can contribute to cavities and gum problems. 3. Blood sugar spikes. While healthier than refined sugar, honey still raises your blood glucose. If you're diabetic or insulin resistant, be extra cautious. 4. Digestive discomfort. Too much fructose can cause gas, bloating, and even diarrhea. Your digestive system needs balance. The general recommendation: stick to 1 tablespoon a day. That way, you enjoy the benefits without the risks. And now that you know the limits, let's wrap it all up with a quick recap of everything we've learned. Honey isn't just a sweetener. It's the result of millions of flowers, thousands of bees working in perfect harmony, and a stunning natural process that's been treasured for centuries. We've seen how bees turn nectar into liquid gold, how honey is extracted without harming the hive, and how it reaches your table while preserving its purity. We also explored its health benefits, how to spot real honey, and the risks of overconsumption. Now you know that every spoonful of honey represents nature, science, tradition, and wellness. So next time you sweeten your tea or breakfast with honey, remember the incredible journey behind that little jar. If you learned something new from this video, give it a like, share it with someone who needs to know, and subscribe to keep discovering the hidden stories behind everyday foods. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos, and tell us in the comments, how do you use honey at home? See you in the next video with more sweet, fascinating, and real stories.